Hello, Jackie. There's an outline one called Alan Bryson, who was housed in a Scottish prison, but we protest outside the Scottish Parliament to get him out to the male prison. We won, he got moved. That's how Nicola Sturgeon resigned as Prime Minister. The power of women and men can make a change. Exactly. I want to be sure to let everybody know that this is Darlene J. Clark with Child Abuse Awareness. Be a part of the solution instead of part of the problem. So I want y'all to please like, subscribe, and share. Banner is Matthew 18, verse 6. But who shall be one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Now, scroll down, give a trigger warning here. We have to go to the bottom. Comments. Hello, good to see you too. Thanks for covering. It means a lot. The campaign. Well, you're quite welcome. I hope I'll be glad to share things like this, such as this is atrocity. This, when you put a man in a woman's prison, even though the man claims to now see himself as being female, it's so wrong. It's disgusting. That's their way that they can continue harassing and raping victims. That's their way to get through the system. And it's crazy that this is being allowed. So today, this time, this will be my third story, but at the moment this one is convicted pedophile and rapist Karen White wrongly put with female prisoners he claimed to be a woman. This is not a woman. This is a male. And just because someone might change their name to be a female does not make him a female. Let me get that one out of the way. Put this one up. This guy said I should have never been put in a woman's jail. Trans rapist and pedophile, age 57, who sexually assaulted female prisoners during a 3-month reign of terror, urges the government to keep transgendered women out of female jails. Exactly. Karen White was born a male. For some reason, it's not doing the full share on how I want this to be. So I'll make sure to put it down here and hit that. Maybe that will show now. Alright. White, age 57, who still has male genitalia, was later moved to a men's prison. All these ladies that got victimized by this man, the government in whole needs to pay for what they did to the other victims that's in this prison. They are responsible for this action, They are responsible for it happening. Their stupidity alone says a lot. A notorious transgendered sex predator who sexually assaulted female prisoners now says he should have never been put in a woman's jail. I refuse to say she because it is not a she. It is a he. If it was a she would be forced into a woman's prison, regardless. But no, he is now wanting his penis chopped off so he can be housed with women. Isn't that ridiculous? Because he can still use other avenues. He's a pedophile? No, 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 no. It is so wrong. That's wrong. Prison said women should get the cool inserted in them if they are worried of getting raped. What? That's another way of controlling it. How about just protecting them? It is unbelievable. You're right. It's very unbelievable. I can't believe it's going through that. You're saying that, the woman should get a coal put, convicted pedophile. I got to scroll up a little bit because that share selection thing is messing up. There we go. Convicted pedophile and rapist Karen White, who was born a man, molested female inmates in a 3-month reign of terror at New Hall Women's Prison in West Yorkshire. Need to quit trying to get me to save it. Yep, I can drop you a link with a woman telling you her story. Oh, cool. White, age 57, who still has male genitalia, was moved to a man's prison and later received a life sentence for a series of sex crimes. Y'all see what he's trying to do? He's still saying, well, get rid of my penis and I'll gladly go in there. Now, in a 4-page letter to a women's rights campaigner sent from a cell at Franklin Prison in County Durham, 6 foot tall White urges the government to keep transgender women out of female jails unless they have had surgery. I would say even if they had surgery, because this guy still perpetrated the women. He still sexually abused the women. So excuse me, it don't matter whether he still has a genitalia. If you cut it off, guess what? You're still a male. Just because you no longer have a penis because you had it chopped off. What about these? That's what they used to do to a lot of the. Oh, what are those called? The monks. They were male. But they still had to have their things cut off. He's a danger to all women, exactly. And yet they want to try to blame the women and all that. It's a danger to everyone, man. And the government's just as dangerous if they're going along with it. White says, all I have was fear in the faces of female inmates they arrived at Newhall Jail 5 years ago. They would have seen me as a man in women's clothing and have threatened them, writes White, who had been described as a towering figure in a blonde wig. They had every right to be wrong because you still did it. You still went ahead. Yeah, they saw you as that. But guess what? You still did it. Whose fault's that they did it? You're acting like you want people to have sympathy because of the fact that they saw you as that and they were scared. So I want to have my penis removed so they don't see me as a threat. No matter what, you're still a threat. regardless of whether you have your genitalia or not. Yuck, 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 yuck. I'm looking at 'em. Yuck. Ugh. Nothing feminine about that. You know, God made women to be feminine. That him before should was moved to a men's prison later received a life sentence. Look at that. There the perpetrator is right there. Don't want to think that he's sexy or anything. Okay, here's them when he's dressed like that, trying to seem like he's something he's not. Here's him as he really is. Pedophile, gruesome, horrible excuse of a human being. Look at him. Good look at him. Well, awesome. Take a good look at this jerk. His name is not a Karen. And I'm still not going to say she says because guess what? Born a male, I still say a male. I might hurt a lot of people's feelings. I do not care. But I'm for the Bible. I'm not for all this crazy government kind of crap that's going on. She says transgender women should not be in a women's prison. Added, I mean, all transgender women, not case by case, until they had full reassignment surgery because it's about the women in a women's prison. Their safety should be paramount. Well, you're still not giving them safety paramount when you got somebody in there that molests them and stuff. Full reassignment surgery, and who's going to be paying for the reassignment surgery? Who's going to do all that? Are you hoping and going to be demanding that the government be paying for all of y'all to be full reassignment surgery? Is that what you're trying to do there? Heck no. Wow. Housing transgender women who have not had full surgery only continues to put these vulnerable women at risk daily, and no one should be made to feel that way in their safe environment. That's not safe. Prison is not safe in itself, I grant you that. But when you put a male that was born a male, he still got the male hormones running through his body. He still has the male genitalia. He can change his name all he wants to, but he would have to keep shaving his legs, keep shaving his face. Did y'all see that a minute ago? All that hair on his face? A woman usually does not have hair like this on her face. Okay? So no, this is not a female. Keeping people like this out of the women's prison no matter what, even if they did have the surgery. White born Stephen Wood is serving life at Category A Franklin Jail for multiple rapes, sex attacks, and grievous bodily harm. So, you know, he can bodily harm them even without him having a penis. Even without him having, like I said, a penis. He did grievous bodily harm. The women's rights activist who received the letter said it came as a bolt out of the blue. Feminists have been warning for years that female only spaces should be protected for the sake of women's safety, and now this letter shows that even trans women agree. No, but he says as long That is not saying that only women, because he said, as long as I have my counterparts and change into a woman, no, that is not saying exactly what the feminists are saying, that nobody needs to be in there but women, because guess what? No matter how many surgeries he does to try to become a woman, he's still going to always be a man. He still will always have it. Well, in a letter, White says he told court officials when he was remanded in 2017 that he should not be placed in a woman's prison. He claims a magistrate told him he should be detained in a female jail as he had been living as a woman in the community for 2 years. White was served a minimum 9.5 years before being considered for parole for admitting sex attacks on two female prisoners and raping two other women. So you see, he's still in jail. He still attacked women, sex attacks. I had an ex boyfriend who had a bad heart, so he had trouble getting his manhood up, and that's him. Okay, I don't care. I could care less. The problem with that um, is that he ended up breaking into little girls' homes and molesting the little bitty girls, even though his manhood would not hurt. I mean, would not be aroused. He still used other avenues to abuse these little kids. It's pedophile. He still used his hands and his mouth. How are you going to be able to take that away from him where he don't do that? You keep him out of the women's jail. You know, put him in with a man. He was born a man. And maybe the same thing would happen to him in jail when he gets raped. He deserves it. He deserves it. Seriously, he does. You know, if he don't want it done to him, why would he do it to somebody else? He will always be a man regardless, you know? The judge at Leeds Crown Court called White predatory and highly manipulative. He attacked the two women inmates at New Hall while on remand after stabbing his 66-year-old neighbor with a knife. See how volatile he is? He stabbed the neighbor with a knife. One of the prisoners who accused White, Cheryl Kempton, later told the Mail on Sunday how White demanded he commit she commit a sex act, grabbed her breast, and pressed up against her while he was aroused. So it don't matter whether or not, because men will still get aroused even if they do not have the erection. Men would still want to have that sickness about doing whatever. They would still attack, grabbing their breasts and all that, uncalled for. So excuse me, if you fall for that, I got some oceanfront property in Arizona I can sell you. Watt's letter fuels the debate on whether men who identify as women should have unfettered access to female-only spaces following a number of sex scandals. I don't think that it's debate. I think it's open. No, I don't think it should be debated. That's what's wrong with the government system today. Trying to stick their nose and change these type of things. That's really getting people unprotected. Like if you feel like you're a woman, go ahead in the girls' bathroom. You know what's happening on? There was a lady that worked for the government, and she said, "Well, I'm for that. I'm for that." Somebody said, well, you will not be floored if your granddaughter or somebody related to you ends up getting attacked in a bathroom. And guess what? It did. One of her kids or grandkids or something like that got attacked in the women's bathroom. Oh, but she was all for it, man. She was all for, as long as they feel like they're a woman, they can go ahead and go in a male's bathroom. This year, the government introduced regulations banning trans women with male genitalia who are violent or sexual offenders from serving time in female prisons. That's why he wants to have it cut off because he's completely banned from doing it, okay? Once you don't have that, it's like, I can still get through the system. I can still go over there to that prison there, and I can still go over there and continue to sexually exploit these ladies. I can still do it, and it would be legal. Exemptions can only be made in exceptional cases and with minister's approval. I don't think it needs to be any kind of approval there. The guidance came into force after this newspaper revealed a transgender murderer with male genitalia had consensual sex with a female inmate and was alleged to have sexually molested another at Bronzefield Women's Prison in West London. Last night, Liz Hogarth, a former Ministry and Justice official, said there must be no reversal of the policy on trans prisoners. Yet most of the women are extremely vulnerable, having experienced multiple and complex trauma, including male violence. It is never appropriate to prioritize the needs of trans identifying males above the needs of these women. Exactly. Exactly. You want women to try to get these certain things so they don't end up getting pregnant or something from the rapes? How about not putting a male in jail with them? Duh. Common sense. What kind of sign are you having above your head by going along with this? You're making yourself look stupid when you're going along with these. In Scotland, prison chiefs halted the movement of transgender sex offenders this year after a furious backlash against double rapist Isla Bryson being sent to a woman's prison. She was later moved to the male jail. Wow. Yeah, I had to end up doing that one, that story, like you said that earlier. Don't think it's anymore on this page. People find it hard to believe. Exactly. Thinking at least I would go to a woman's prison. And like when I'm going to do another story, um, man who raped his 10-year-old daughter housed with female prison inmates too. Wow. I just want to say wow to that. Okay. She'll be right back. Welcome anyone who's here listening. Get that link for you. Okay. Oh, See what this one sounds like. I don't think I like that one. Excuse me. The better once she goes and gets the link. Try now feeding the ducks. Trying to see what I can find here too. See what I can find here too. When I do that. Okay, I think I've got it right here. And see if this goes right here. Alright. Share the screen. This person is saying, I was sexually assaulted by trans rapist in a woman's jail. Female prisoner tells of ordeal at the hands of notorious predator Karen White, who molested 4 inmates in 3 months. A female inmate has told of sex attack at the hands of notorious trans rapist. Laura Goldsmith warned about risk of male-bodied prisoners in women's jails. A female prisoner today warns of the dangers of putting transgendered inmates in women's jails after she was sexually assaulted by a pedophile rapist behind bars. Laura Goldsmith, 38, revealed how she fell prey to notorious sex offender Karen White at HMP New Hall in Wakefield, West Yorkshire. I found it right here. In chilling echoes of the shocking case of transgendered double rapist Isla Friesland being placed in an all-female jail in Scotland, Laura told how White was allowed to carry out a campaign of abuse in plain sight after being placed in a jail despite not having surgery and boasted how she was not having hormone treatments. She was boasting she didn't want them. White was a convicted pedophile and a serial sex offender on remand for grievous bodily harm. White went on to be jailed for life after sexually assaulting two inmates at New Hall. See, that perp just wanted to be able to get to these people. Laura Goldsmith, 38, has warned of the dangers of putting transgender inmates in women's jails after she was sexually assaulted by pedophile rapist Karen White. Here's the male version of it, and there's the female or attempted female look. Um, in October 2018, Karen Wright, born Stephen Wood Left, was handed a life sentence for raping two women and sexually assaulting two inmates at HMP New Hall. Stop this craziness from happening. Stop it. Like she said, he boasted about not having the treatments. So he still wanted back in there. So he would still go in there and grab women and do whatever. Now this is crazy. It's very crazy. Oh man. Thank you so much for getting this out there, Jackie. And I'm Brad Green and Mages. How are you doing? Good to see you. We just got through telling the story of the convicted pedophile and rapist Karen White, wrongly put with female prisoners. So, but I'm fixing to do another story briefly in a little while. So I hope I get to see you in a few minutes after that one starts. And I'll go ahead and end this, and I hope to see y'all in a few. Thank you.